Walking Dead. Comic book series, hit AMC show, my entertainment. With Season 7 underway, I thought it would be fun to look back at the top 10 episodes from this point that I had truly admired. Sure, there have been some pitfalls within the series, and trust me, I'll get into those eventually. But I'm here to talk about the top 10 episodes up until this point that I have truly loved. It's a top 10 episode, folks, so strap in. Hi, I'm Jared D. Adams, and welcome to the first list of my Walking Dead retrospective. Over the past 6 years, Walking Dead has given us a wide variety of amazing episodes in which it would seem impossible to narrow down to just 10. But I did. Number 10, the Halloween pilot, aka Days Gone By. What a better way to start off the list than begin with the episode which introduced me to the Walking Dead universe. From the cold opening, this episode grabbed me. It shook me so much I was this series' hostage. Thanks to show creator Frank Darabont, who also wrote and directed this episode, the pilot didn't feel like a pilot to a TV series at all. It felt like a damn movie. This episode gave us memorable images and introduced us to fantastic characters. This pilot made me want to go back and read the source material, which I did, further drawing me into this undead world. Plus, this episode has one of my all-time favorite scenes from the series where Morgan Jones breaks down into tears because he can't kill his zombie wife. I've broken down like that before. Every Monday morning before class. Great episode and a perfect way to start off my favorite current television series. Number 9, A. I remember when the title for this episode came out and everyone went, "Really? Season 4 finale is just one letter?" But in the end, the title kinda made sense because of the boxcars at Terminus, but still. Season 4 of The Walking Dead, as of this recording, is still my favorite season of The Walking Dead to date. However, this was also the season which kicked off those stupid cliffhangers, and I mean major cliffhangers. They even gave us a mediocre form of a cliffhanger due to AMC being too afraid to let Rick say one F-bomb. The Blu-ray version was kick-ass, but you know, in the end, things could be a lot worse. You're Rick, right? Hi, I'm Negan. And I damn well do not appreciate you killing my screwing men. In fact, when I set my people to kill your people for messing up my people, you vanilla icing killed more of my people. Not cool. Not bon diggity cool. But all that loose end crap put aside, what truly made A one of my favorite episodes? The climax of the Claimers story arc. I loved the back half of Season 4, mostly because of the Claimers. Jeff Kober as the leader Joe, he was amazing! Cold, brutal, and scary, all wrapped in one. Hell, we barely even knew who the other Claimers were, besides that one Claimer who turned out to be an actor for Geico, but nonetheless, each and every actor felt threatening, even if we didn't know much about the personality. And the moment Rick tore out Joe's throat with his teeth, the tables were turned on those bastards, and we truly saw how far Rick would go to protect the ones he loved. His family. And this whole sequence alone made the episode one of my all-time favorites. Number 8, Judge, Jury, and Executioner. I'm not the biggest fan of Season 2, but geez, this episode had some beautiful character moments. The whole Randall storyline was probably one of the best original ideas the writing staff inserted into the Walking Dead universe. It caused tension between our group and showed us how true of a moral compass the character of Dale Horvath was. Now, when we arrived at this episode in this point of the series, there were already rumors that a major cast member was going to leave the show. But when Dale got attacked by that swamp walker, screw you Carl, my jaw hit the floor. Everything beforehand was a scalding hot boil of disagreements regarding the execution of Randall, but as soon as that zombie tore into Dale's chest, we all knew it was over. And the final scene where Daryl has to shoot Dale? Sorry, brother? It's as depressing as it is poetic. The sadness over every actor's face and Jeffrey DeMunn's beautiful acting made this episode truly phenomenal. Rest in peace, Dale. Number 7, Internment. Now, I always refer to this episode as the one all about Herschel. Herschel was put into quite a few predicaments within this episode, from having to battle a zombie in order to save Glenn's life, all the way to killing his doctor pal who turned into a roamer just so Herschel could attain the unlimited ammo shotgun. Herschel went through hell. And remember, Herschel had to kill all of those innocent survivors due to the flu. This was breaking his spirit. We also got some amazing zombie fence action, interesting character tidbits, and a wonderful surprise ending which featured the return of the Governor. Internment is a fantastic episode, and it is Scott Wilson's performance which is the glue that holds everything together. 2 big thumbs up. Number 6, Beside the Dying Fire. Season 2, hands down, gave us the best season finale. Picking up right where the zombie herd starts to commence on the farm, this episode goes into full-on action mode. From badass Herschel to badass Glenn, the first 20 minutes of this episode is fantastic. I mean, sure, the only deaths in this finale were a couple of red shirts, but it was still exciting. And the back half of this episode gave us plenty of teases to season 3, which made us all excited as hell. We were told that everyone is infected, Michonne made her grand entrance, and the prison is teased in the final shot. Oh, that dictatorship is pure. And now from here, we cross the line into my top 5 favorite episodes of all time. Let's begin. Number 5, 4 Walls and a Roof. Despite the fact that this episode was co-written by Angela Kang, this episode perfectly ties together all the loose ends from the Hunter story arc which began back at Terminus in Season 4. This is an extremely dark episode which revels in its violence, but it's okay, because the violence is happening to Gareth and his Hunters. Fear the Hunters is my favorite volume from the comics, and I thought the TV adaptation was damn near perfection. A lot of fans are telling me that they thought this arc involving Gareth and his Hunters was way too short. But in hindsight, really? Like I said, it was only 1 volume in the actual comics. A perfect villain is someone who makes you want to see more of them committing these horrible deeds. And that's what Gareth was. He was here one moment, and then he got red-handled macheted. And the horrible violence that our survivors commit unto the villains, it stays with them for a while. I mean, this episode was amazing. But it also led into the Grady story arc. Ouch. Number 4, No Way Out. We were given a tedious mid-season finale in Season 6. I can admit to that. But we were promised an excellent return when the show came back. And I think they held up on their end of the deal. Beginning with one of the best cold opens of the series, No Way Out gives us iconic comic moments we were all dying to see. The episode was intense, gave a wonderful shining moment to nearly every important character, and the final battle at the end is breathtaking. In my opinion, the show delivered on its promise, and this episode is still as watchable as the day it aired. Great job to the cast and crew. Number 3, What Happened and What's Going On. If you ever wanted a more perfect swan song for a character, this would be it. Chad L. Coleman as Tyrese knocks this episode out of the park with his heart-wrenching performance. It always sucks to say goodbye to a great character, and Tyrese was such a cool guy. It just blows that he died trying to help out plot device Noah. I thought this episode was beautifully directed by Greg Nicotero. It felt very dreamlike and ominous, which fit perfectly with Tyrese's hallucinations and situation. All the cameos were cool, and Tyrese's final moments in the car made my eyes tear up. It was truly a beautiful send-off. I still got shivers. Number 2, The Grove. If there was any episode in which I would try to petition for the Grammys to watch, and then nominate an actor for an award, it would be The Grove. The Grove is an extremely disheartening episode, which has a plot which is in vein of Steinbeck's Mice and Men. But everything about this episode, including our performances, are near mint perfection. Melissa McBride gives a beautiful performance which reveals how torturous of a decision Carol had to make. Brighton Charbino delivers a horribly frightening performance as Lizzie. Up to her last moments, you'll be misty-eyed. And again, Chad L. Coben makes you feel absolute pain when he discovers it was Carol who had killed his girlfriend. And not only do the walkers in this episode look fantastic, but the direction is amazing. The shocking reveal a la Billy and Ben from the comics was pure perfection. The Grove is award-worthy, and I guarantee it will most likely never leave my top 10 favorite episodes anytime soon. Now, before I name off my number 1 favorite episode of all time, I'm gonna name off a couple of honorable mentions. Clear. Before Morgan officially returned as a full-time cast member, we saw him in Clear. Lenny James' performance is flawless in this episode, and Gibble's writing for this was on point. The Distance. A phenomenal introduction to Aaron and a unique setup for the Alexandria safe zone. Our futures were never the same after this. Seed. A thoroughly enjoyable and action-packed way for us to be introduced to the prison. Plus, Lou Temple as Axel. Bonus points. Strangers. We get our introduction to Father Gabriel while the mystery of the hunters loom in the background. Plus we got to chow down on some barbecue. Last Day on Earth. Honestly, this would have been a perfect slow burn of a finale, but those final 20 seconds ruined this episode. Nonetheless, everything else about it was extremely tense. Number 1. Too Far Gone. I know, shocking, weird choice. But yeah, this episode is near perfection, and I only say near perfection because I believe nothing is perfect. This was what the season 3 finale should have been. Everything about Too Far Gone is just glorious. The tank battle with the governor always keeps me on the edge of my seat, and I've seen this episode over 20 times. We witnessed the prison fall, and it felt organic. Why? Because we knew the bad blood between Rick and the governor. In the end, this episode is perfect is the only word I can really think of to describe it. It's an episode which did extreme justice for the comics, and I will always love it. Too Far Gone, my all-time favorite Walking Dead episode. And that brings a close to my top 10 favorite Walking Dead episodes up until this point. Thank you for watching, and the next list I shall bring you in video form are my top 10 favorite Walking Dead characters I wish they did more stuff with. I'm Jared D. Adams, and until next time, stay dead.